Greetings. Today we're here to talk about the wonderful vermouths and aperitif wines of Cocchi in Piedmont in northern Italy. My name is Jake Parrott. I work for House Alpens. We're the U.S. importers of Cocchi. Cocchi, based near Asti, have been making wine, aperitif wine, and sparkling wine since 1891. Three things you should know right off the top. It's pronounced Cocchi, not Cocchi. You might even hold that K in the middle just to get a little extra Italian accent to it. Two, these folks have been making the same recipes for what we call aromatized wines for 130 years. The most common type of aromatized wine is, of course, vermouth, and we'll talk about two of those today. But Cocchi also makes two other types of aromatized wine, chinato and Americano. Three, these folks are a winery. Cocchi are a winery. They grow grapes, they make wines. They use those wines then to make these aromatized wines. They grow three of the great traditional grapes of Piedmont in Italy, Moscato, Nebbiolo, and Brichetto. Let's talk about where they are. Cocchi is in the town of Coconato, about half an hour drive east of Torino and a little bit north of Asti. And Coconato is considered part of the Asti ward of the Piedmont region of Italy. You'll notice it's between Torino and Milano. This is really the heart of Italian gastronomy, food and wine. Cocchi, of course, is perhaps most famous here in America for their Vermouth di Torino. Vermouth di Torino is a registered appellation, a name for vermouth in the European Union. It requires the use of Piedmont wines, but Cocchi still makes it the traditional way with all Moscato, which brings great citrus to the party. The herbs they use, in addition to wormwood, which brings a little bit of herbaceousness, include mostly spicier things like ginger and cocoa and cinnamon, which give a great, robust Manhattan with all different kinds of bourbons or ryes. Of course, Vermouth di Torino is the traditional vermouth for the Negroni as well, and the Moscato brings a great, refreshing character that allows that drink to be an aperitif. Really, truly an iron hand in a velvet glove, and essential for all kinds of classic cocktails. Cocchi also make a second vermouth, what they call vermouth amaro. They give it the name dopo teatro, which is the Italian expression for late night happy hour. Vermouth, don't get caught up by the amaro. This is really vermouth with just a few additional bitter botanicals. Rhubarb root brings a wonderful smokiness, and quinine brings some great dry spice. Here's one for when you're kicking up your Manhattan to a little bit nicer whiskey, or just one to drink on the rocks with a light dessert or perhaps some salami. The king of Piemontese aromatized wines, though, is not vermouth. It is Barolo Chinato. There's a lot in that name. Barolo means made with real Barolo wine, Nebbiolo from the heart of Piedmont. Chinato means that the principal botanical in here is the bark of a tree that produces the flavor quinine, the same quinine you see in tonic water. Quinine was really the hot botanical of the late 19th century. And so Giulio Cocchi in 1891 invented Barolo Chinato as the most renowned expression of wine and botanicals in Piedmont. Cocchi's style of Barolo Chinato is richer and rounder than many. Plenty of ginger and cardamom and cocoa and cinnamon to balance the tannin and guts of the Nebbiolo grapes as well as the quinine. This is the classic Italian pairing for dark chocolate. It's not the wine that cleanses the palate of that chocolate. It's all those wonderful botanicals. It really keeps the palate refreshed and scrubs the proteins of the chocolate right away. But if you do want to mix this, this is where you go for your single barrel whiskeys to make really the Maserati of Manhattans in so many ways. Cocchi is also known for a style of aperitif called Americano. And you'll see in the past, this was marketed as sort of the American way of adding bitters to vermouth. But the word is also a play on the word amaricante, the Italian word for bitterness. Cocchi make two Americano wines today. The Americano Bianco is Moscato based. So there's this great citrus floral character from the grapes, just a hint of spice from quinine, plenty of acidity to make a very refreshing aperitif, just as a spritz with soda. Lots of folks will use this in cocktails with vodka or gin because it brings a great intensity and fruit. I love it with Blanco tequila. I think the earthiness of the spirit and the fruit of the Moscato really play together well. If you are going to drink this with a bit of food, I recommend pretty much anything salty, but particular pickled things or olives. Cocchi Rosa is the way Cocchi shows off the third of their fantastic Piedmont grapes, and that's Brichetto. which brings this natural pink color and plenty of berry and floral scents to the party. Cocchi adds a bit of ginger and rose to the mix, which plays up those floral characters and adds a nice backbone to a spritz or a cocktail. If you mix this with soda, I like a grapefruit peel, but a lemon peel works great as well. If you mix this with a gentle whiskey, maybe a wheated bourbon, that ginger comes out, and all kinds of clear spirits work particularly well here. I love aquavit, but a floral gin or again, a Blanco tequila or mezcal will work amazing. And if you pair this with Parmigiano Reggiano, everything comes together so well, and the Cocchi Rosa scrubs it clean. For more information on Cocchi, you can visit their website at cocchi.it. Their Instagram is full of great cocktail pictures and simple drink ideas. Our website at alpens.com, which I'll show you here in a moment, has got a ton of information of all sorts. So here's our website, alpens.com. We work with a variety of producers of wines and spirits, and you can find products by category under wines or spirits. Under producer, all of our producers, there's Cocchi right there. Or if you're looking for origin by country, you can look at Italy, Portugal, Spain, France, etc. Let's take a look at Americano. So here's some more information about the category of Americano, as well as the two Americani that we import, which are both from Cocchi. Let's click on Cocchi Rosa. This is the product page. This prints to a one-page PDF, if that's helpful for you. Bottle shots, label shots, information about both the taste of the product as well as the producer and the category. Down here, you've got all the things you need to set up Cocchi Americano Rosa in your point of sale system, as well as a few recipes and a link to a bunch more. Here's 20 recipes that all call for Cocchi Rosa. These come from our recipe database, which you can find by clicking on recipes. Right now, I've got it set just to show recipes that you could make if you had just a wine and beer license. These are low alcohol drinks that show extremely well using our products. But if I reset, you'll see all 535 cocktails in our portfolio. We're adding to this every day with cocktail photos and descriptions. If we want to get all those Cocchi Rosa drinks, we can go to this drop down to filter by product. Some wonderful stuff here. There's a very, very simple drink, just bourbon and Cocchi Rosa with a lemon peel. So that's our website. On the front page, articles, historical context, as well as a link to our catalog and to other resources, including a glossary. Thanks so much for taking the time to learn about Cocchi today. We'll have more for you later on.